the skill. Joint centration, balance, stability, coordination, movement efficiency, motor learning, all comes together to produce force. If it's out of whack, this is going to happen. Cheers, mate. For advice what not to do, look at Fail Army. Oh. That is a pointless exercise. What is he doing? An inability to produce force. People who think that they can weightlift. I don't know. Don't know. This is a common sense void. People who think that they can do more than they can. By the way he's moving, do you think he should do this? I rest my case. I rest my case. So not that long ago, a well-known sport of CrossFit, a practitioner training for it, dropped the bar and said he died. Wasn't prepared to do the task. So, stretch shortening cycle. Absorb force, convert force, return force. How we produce movement, equal and opposite reactions, Newtonian physics. It is a spring in our step. But you have to earn the right to get the spring. Strength dependent. Good structural joint strength and integrity is important before you can really start hammering your plyometrics and sprint activity. Structural support systems, stage of motor learning. So you saw the video of Selassie Taine talking about cutting. What you don't see is the 3 or 4 weeks in the gym before doing this. Learning off the back of an injury, off the back of a hamstring injury as well. Learning how to re-educate. Okay? Type of strength trained. If we've only produced concentric force all the time, so all the money stuff, do you think that when we land, our body's prepared for it? We're only taught to do this. We're not taught to do this. It's back on the physio bed. We'll give you Dan's number. Level of energy system conditioning. So do you think if we give someone all of their dominant, so if someone's an alactic aerobic athlete, if we give them just alactic all the time, what's going to happen? We've got no aerobic. The circle doesn't come back round. We need to fuel and fuel and fuel constantly. So, again, take a photo, write this down. You guys will all get the presentation anyway. This is from Villarreal paper on plyometric training and introduction. It's what I base my methodology from, along with Verkhoshansky. I don't even know that. Who invented plyometrics. So essentially, all we do is we start low stress, low proprioceptive demand, simple movement, low CNS demand, central nervous system demand. Everything's low. And if we think about our pyramid, where do you think this stuff would go?
At the bottom.
At the bottom. Could you do it every day? Yeah. If you wanted to. You really could. You can do it in some shape or form. As this changes, this is what people always forget. That's why they train high force, concentric. They don't know is what happens to the high speed eccentric. It's the big thing in plyometric training and actually how you can escalate force production. It's through eccentric training. Last season, I put 55 kilos on someone's 1 rep max back squat. Took him from 65, 170 to 235 in 12 weeks. Jumps went up, sprints went up. We didn't train for concentric output. We trained for eccentric and isometric. We didn't care how much weight you could move volitionally. We taught him to control, stabilize. And he reaped the benefits for it. Turn things on your head, in your system. Quick 5-minute break again, because it's a bit heavy if you want one, or we can keep going through. Keep going? Yeah, cool. So, training organisation, we are nearly there. Fall in love with the process and the results will come. That's why I say to my athletes at work and anyone, we had a big conversation about it in the training the other night. Everything is a process. Everything. The world's best chef started learning how to cook by figuring out to turn an oven on. Okay? Supercompensation. This is a real problem, again, that people have their head around because they think we should train at 90% all the time. What it essentially is this is our happy medium. We train, we empty out a little bit, rest and recover to get better. So we take the green line, this optimum time of when we retrain again, we get it right, that then becomes our happy medium, becomes our norm again, so we get better. The easiest way to, someone explained this to me, was if you had a cup of water, you drank some, that was one workout, drank some more, that was another workout. In order to keep yourself hydrated forever, you need to keep topping that glass back up. Okay, so it's organising your training so you have good, adequate rest, adequate recovery to keep optimum. Because in order to get better and stay hydrated, you always want a full cup of water. Otherwise this happens. We've all felt like that. What's going on inside? Well, the mind, external factors, coaches, public perception. I need to be seen to work hard, even though I feel like this. We have a very poor association with hard work, or I'm working hard. Okay, working hard is doing the right thing, not tiring yourself out. So, how it all fits together. Essentially, we program in long-term, short-term, medium-term, short-term, years, months, and weeks. Okay, if you're lucky to work with track and field athletes, you can periodise this 4 years in advance. They tend to work on Olympic cycles. Okay. Excuse me. As you can see, this would be for a powerlifter. So his competitive phase would be really short, maybe a couple of competitions, a lot of training towards it. And then if we go into it a little bit deeper, everything can block itself out. So you've got a general prep, specific prep, and a pre-comp, and these are the type of things that they look to develop. This is linear periodization, by the way, which we're going to talk about, where they're developing standalone qualities at one time. Fine if you're a powerlifter, because you've only got one task to do. Not so much if you're a sportsman. This is a golfer. I stole this off the internet. And how they periodize and how they work through. Prep 1, Comp 1, Comp 2, Prep 2. You know, there's a lot going on all the time. But again, it's for singular events. They're not peaking bi-weekly as you would do in team sports. They're peaking every month or so, or every 2 months, maybe. So this is classical linear periodisation, we train, we peak at something, and we start at something else, we start at something else, we start at something else. It's very limited, and because you're only training for one real adaptation at a given time. It doesn't really transfer into sports too much. I like this effect, we burn it, because it's useless for us. What I evoke is this concept of block periodisation. Again, you've got some periods of standalone type of work, but that doesn't say beach weights, doesn't say maximal strength. It's a general prep phase. It's a specific prep phase. It's a competitive prep phase. And what you can see is a change in volume and intensity as we go through the periods to get you ready for competition. Within that general prep, a general prep for a sprint trainer would be aerobic work, strength, verging towards maximal strength, trying to get as strong as possible so they can convert that strength. For a rugby player, hypertrophy, balance, coordination, stability, energy system work, stuff that allows them to compete, and not just training for one absolute the whole time. And it verges through. It's exactly the same system that myself and the strength and conditioning coaches here are using. It's exactly the same system that I use in the rehabilitation system at Foster. Real, simple, very easy to follow. How it looks in a week. So I saw this from Charlie Francis. So it's a good person to write down. Ben Johnson's 100 metre sprint coach. And all the controversy around that. You know what I'm talking about. But what we do is we split the days. We have a hard day, we have a light day. It's common sense. But what it allows is for us to train more, have a more targeted training time to develop, and you consolidate your big stressors. Because remember, we are all governed by our brain, because if our brain goes, then we're in trouble. With our ability to produce force and recover, okay, we are in trouble. So we consolidate all of our big stressors on the one day, fill our cup of water back up the day after, and we're ready to come back. So it's about just organising and managing your training stimulus effectively, because bench press 1 rep max, squat 1 rep max, deadlift 1 rep max, conditioning, maximum conditioning. You hit 10s across the week, I don't know what you're going to do for the next month. Because if we remember our curves, we go too far down in our stress plot, it's going to take us longer to get back out of it. We need to create optimal. Use the minimal to create optimal as well. Dose load response. If you need to go in and do 6 reps, you need to go in and do 1 set. That's all you need to do, providing you've got everything in place. And on the low days, low-level aerobic work. My friend that works with Argentina now, used to work at Rotherham as well. At Rotherham, on their low days, they used to do 2 hours of cycling on top of rugby field practice. It's low cost, but it facilitates recovery. Okay, so try and hopefully everyone understands putting all the weight on the bar, but sometimes people get confused when it's on-feet mileage and they forget how much cost that has as well. They're both very, very